It's Madden NFL 24. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. All that and more coming up next.
Summer drawing to a close here in the Southeast. The roof is closed at the wondrous Mercedes-Benz Stadium due to the hot temps still outside here in downtown Atlanta. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Atlanta Falcons. Brandon Gunn joined in the booth by Charles Davis. CD, these Falcons seem to be in an interesting spot coming into 2023. They've seemingly got playmakers galore on offense, but they may only be as good as what their defense can do for them.
And that defense, 27th overall in the league last year, so they must improve. In order to help them, though, they're going to try and control the ball more on the offensive side, try and run it a little bit more and take some time off the clock.
Now, meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, one era ends, another begins. This is a team that finished 8-9 last year, missed out on the playoffs at the very end. What needs to happen for the green and gold to be playoff bound once more?
Everyone's focusing on how they're starting over on the offensive side of the ball. But to me, they have an accumulation of talent on defense that needs to play like a top 10, top 5 defense in the NFL.
The veteran punter Bradley Pinion has this one teed up, and we are underway from Atlanta. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So here are the new-look Packers set to go to work. And at the helm here in 2023, a lot of eyes on this man in his 4th NFL season, Jordan Love.
This is set up now to be the true beginning of Love's NFL career because he's finally out from under the shadow of Aaron Rodgers, and Green Bay is giving him this season to prove he can be their starter. 4 years after he was drafted in the first round, we'll find out if Love is the next decade-long starter for the Green Bay Packers.
A guy coming off a career high in rushing yards last year. Here's Aaron Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Another strong run from the underrated Aaron Jones, who really deserves more credit for what he has done for the Packers. Even splitting carries in an offense that loves to throw it around, Jones put up his third 1,000-yard season in the last 4 years.
Now the 4th-year man from BC, it's A.J. Dillon. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 13 yards, first down, Packers. We're scoreless after one. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now Love. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's go do this thing, baby.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's 1st and 10. To throw now. Here's Love. And he short arms that one just a bit. It's low and incomplete.
They have their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
2nd and 10. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Throwing left side, and Watson has it. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. To the air again, Love. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The 3rd down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
So off goes Love. On is Carlson for the Packer field goal. From the left hash, this from 34. And his kick here is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. So a nice opening drive on the road. You get the 3 points. Part of you wonders if that might hurt them later not getting into the end zone.
But the good thing is, still first quarter, and they didn't come out of it with points. In a sense, they can look at it positively and say, hey, we set the pace in this one. I think that's how they'll go about it.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. Cordero Patterson to return it, bringing it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Falcons ready to go to work here on offense, and at the helm in his 2nd season, Charles, it's Desmond Ridder.
The Falcons got their feet wet with Ridder during a 4-game audition last season, and he did end their year with a pair of wins. Optimism reigns that he is their quarterback of the future.
Final 24 seconds of the first half as they come up here 1st and 10. Now Ridder back to throw. There's Robinson showing the flash. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Ridder will set up to throw it. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Here's 2nd and 10. On play action, here's Ridder. And complete to Drake London. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Ridder looking to throw on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. This will be from 56 yards out. And this this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. 1 second, all that remains. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand-new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. If you missed the first half, there's not much to get you caught up on. Just the lone field goal accounting for the entirety of the scoring. A 3-0 game to this point, as both defenses have been strong so far.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. From his end zone, here comes Patterson. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
Usually see those guys out wide get called for holding on running plays. Here a passing play.
Yeah, sometimes when you get this quick screen, bubble screen, anything where they're having to block for their fellow receiver, usually at the point of attack, and this time he got caught.
On the counter, this is Robinson. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Ritter from the gun. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big play that time on the catch and run. 35 yards. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Here's Ritter. And he will slide down, but a penalty marker down. And this may be all for naught.
Offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Here's second down. Ritter looks to throw it. He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their third corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Ritter. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost them.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
A little less than 40 seconds remaining. Here comes 2nd and 10. Now Ritter. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. 3rd and long coming up. Defensively, you pressure the quarterback or drape all over the passing lane?
Yes, that's exactly what you do. It's both because they're not mutually exclusive. They may have been at one time in football, but not anymore. You want to have that pressure. And if you have a big-time pass rusher, send him after the quarterback and then make sure you blanket the field.
Ritter looking to throw it here. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as he'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock.
They got to walk that walk, baby. You ready to roll? Dig down deep.
Here's 1st and goal. Here's Ritter. Sets up the screen to Robinson. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
What an outstanding drive right there to take the lead, and also, Charles, didn't leave their opposition with a whole lot of time on the clock.
Yeah, I like the way that you're viewing this because they did a tremendous job to put themselves in a position to win, but they can't celebrate just yet. They've got to clamp down on any big plays and force them to use up those timeouts without making any headway.
Crew able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. This taken in at the goal line. Now on the return. Oh, no, the ball is loose. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it, and oftentimes knock it away.
Here's Love. Able to find Jones, and a timeout is called. So now you're looking at probably just one final play from back in their own territory, and they're going to need a miracle. The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is third down. Now Love. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles. And that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think hope